What if you could truly create your own holiday magic this year? Today, that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to explore 7 different steps that you could take to institute something really different for yourself, to actualize a completely different holiday for yourself, whether or not you celebrate Christmas or Hanukkah or anything around those. Anything in between. This is really about you embracing holiday events, family type things, and creating them as magical as you truly like to have them. So let's dive in. So here's step number 1. Make a list. He's making a list. You're making a list. Make a list of everything that you loved about the holidays growing up. And I'm talking like really just loved. I loved the smell of cookies baking. I really loved playing in the snow. I really loved spending so much time with my family. I really loved playing, games with my siblings. What is it that really just gave you that sense of the magic of the holidays for you? And you're going to make this list, okay? And just take some time with us. Really, if you're willing, dedicate 30 minutes, 20 minutes, just sit down and write this list and allow yourself to dream a little bit, to really touch into that lightness, that joyful kid that you were. And the reason I go to that is that often when we're a kid, we're functioning a lot less from expectation and projection and just from the joy of something. Okay. So you make your list. And then number 2 is you're going to check it twice. You're going to go through that list and you're going to ask, was this actually mine or was this someone else's? So what do I mean by that? I mean, was this actually something that you loved? Or was it something that maybe your mom loved or your dad loved, and so you loved it because they loved it? Okay. Yeah. This could be a little bit tricky. And that's why I said maybe do it twice, is you're going to go through and get really honest with yourself. Did like some families, they just overeat, like they just eat so much that they're stuffed and they have holiday pants. Okay. So was that actually fun for you and your body? Or did you notice that your dad seemed to really like it? So you kind of duplicated it, you copied it. This is going to get you clear as you create what's true for you in this holiday magic time. So go through that list, check it twice. Everything that doesn't match you, or that didn't match you, because we're looking at you as a child, right? You're just going to cross it out. And then you're going to see, are the items on this list, do they even match who you are right now? This is your second run through, okay? Maybe you really loved going to go see Santa. And now as an adult, you're like, I don't really want to go see Santa anymore. But you can include those energies, okay? But perhaps the action of it doesn't really work. So you right next to that item. So if you're like, okay, this has changed, but what was it about Santa? Like, what was it about that experience that gifted magic to your Christmas, to your holidays? Maybe it was just like the awe of, someone that you saw as really wonderful. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't yours. maybe it was the lights. Maybe it was the display. Maybe it was actually the beauty of the magic of the decoration. So what was it about it that you actually really loved? Okay. And you're going to write that next to it on your list. Next, number 3 is, would you be willing to ask, if you could get anything out of this holiday, what would that be for you now? What would that be for you? It might be, relaxation, just to be able to relax. Others, it might be I finally get time to spend with my family. I want to do all these fun activities. I want to play in the snow. I want to be really, really busy. It could be getting work done because it's quieter and most people have left. And maybe that's like something you would really love to get out of it. Don't judge it. Just acknowledge it. What is that for you? Okay. What, if you could get anything out of these holidays, what would it be? And you're going to write that after your list. And be with those energies, like really be with. It's not necessarily like the item, like, oh, get all this work done. Okay. But what would it be like to actualize all these things that you'd like to actualize? If it's relaxation, oh, I just want to like lay in the couch and do nothing. Okay. What would it be like for you to really just nurture your body and your being and relax on the couch and do nothing? And then you're going to put it on your list. Okay. This is a nice, jolly, happy, beautiful list that we're developing here. And now step number 4 is I'm going to invite you to do an energy ball exercise. Now you're going to find it over here in this other video. So you can go do that after. But this energy ball exercise will start to cultivate something for now, like this holiday and actually in the future. And it kind of creates a bigger and bigger energy that you get to bring into actualization. Ooh. Step number 5, you're going to clear obligations. Now, this is a big one. This is maybe like a whole video on itself. But a lot of people during the holiday season, well, during maybe all their lives, but especially during the holidays, they start to function into this obligation thing. It could be obligation to your family. It could be obligation to your kids. It could be obligation to your workplace, maybe the charities that you work with, whatever that is. You start to function from this space of obligation. And what obligation does is actually takes you out of choice. You can still choose to do all of those things. If you're the one that always hosts Christmas dinner and it's kind of like become this obligation, like everyone just expects you to do it. They think you're the only one that can do it, whatever that is. Then you're not choosing it every year. You're fulfilling obligations every year. And that's a true killer of magic. Really. There's not a lot of joy, a lot of lightness, a lot of playfulness and obligation. So you're going to clear all the obligations. And a way that I use to clear things is using the Access Consciousness Clearing Statement. And I'll do it here with you and you can see if it works for you. If you want more information on the clearing statement, please go to theclearingstatement.com. We'll put a link below for you. But the clearing statement is a statement that I can say that will clear out energies, and everything is energy, right? And obligations have energies that hold them in place. You're going to go all the obligations you have for the holiday season. Will you just restrain and create them, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 9 shorts, boys, POVADs, and beyond. All the obligations you have to your mom, to your dad, to your siblings, to your grandparents, to your family, especially during the holiday season, will you just restrain and create them, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all 9 shorts, boys, POVADs, and beyonds. Woo! All the obligations you have to the holiday itself, all the obligations, because you might have actually developed them to Christmas, to Hanukkah, to whatever this is. Like you actually have an obligation to the energy of that holiday. Will you just restrain and create it, please? Right, round, good, bad, POC, POD, all 9 shorts, boys, POVADs, and beyonds. All the obligations you have to you, all the obligations you have to friends, all the obligations you have to your maybe your churches, your charities, your whatever. Will you just restrain and create them? Right, wrong, good, bad, POC, POD, all 9 shorts, boys, POVADs, and beyonds. And all the obligations that you don't even know that you have and that maybe you've had for so long, that maybe you picked up when you were 2 years old. Will you just restrain and create all those, please? Right, wrong, good, bad, POC, POD, all 9 shorts, boys, POVADs, and beyonds. Woo! You can keep doing that over and over and over and over again. Clear out those obligations. And now we have all this space to play in and to create with, right? And you might want to tap into that energy ball that you did earlier. Well, you're going to do it after this video, from this space of creating that without creating it from obligation, because we will add things to our lives as though we desire them, but really we're just fulfilling obligation. Our desire is to fulfill the obligation. So it seems like, oh, of course, that's what I want, because you're fulfilling an obligation. But if you had no obligation, what would you desire? It would most likely be very different. And sometimes it's not. Sometimes you love cooking Christmas dinner. Sometimes you love hosting. But when you're doing it from the joy of it and from the choice of it, it's so much greater than when you're doing it from the obligation. Okay, woo! Things are lighting up. Here's number 7, magic number 7. Oh, wait, hold on. Running number 6. I was just jumping ahead in the future. Number 6 is actually including those that will contribute to this beautiful, so we created this beautiful energy ball of what you desire to have out of the holidays. And now you're going to actually include the people that are going to be a contribution to this creation coming into actualization. Now, if you get a sense of, oh my God, my mom would hate this, she would try and kill it, don't include her. Don't include her. And now you've just killed all your obligation to her. So maybe you're not spending Christmas with her. Maybe you come up with some really wonderful excuse. Maybe you don't. And okay, now for some of you, that's going to be like a big icky, like, oh my God. And you're going to go into the feeling so bad for someone and feeling like they'll be all alone. And it's like this weight on your shoulder. Well, here's the thing. You can choose a portion. You can be like, oh, I will go spend, 20 minutes with my mom instead of a week with my mom. Or, maybe your grandparents, they're out of town and you're expected to travel. And you could just say, hey, you know what, this year, like, it really doesn't work for us to travel. What is that for you? Are you willing to have your own back and have this creation's back and really actually choose what works for you? And you're right. Some people will get really upset about it and some people won't. You might be really surprised of like, oh, they're okay with me, like just doing what works for me. Those are the people that have your back. Those are the people that truly care about you and desire to contribute to you. Those are the people you want to include in some way. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to divvy out time to them, but you're including their energetic contribution. See? Notice that little bit of difference. The energy just shifted there as some of you opened up to this possibility. And it can look any way that it's going to show up. Don't make yourself wrong if you end up spending all day with your grandparents, even though you didn't want to. Don't make yourself right if you fulfilled your obligation. Really, what you're looking at is starting to create a truly magical holiday for yourself, including those that would be a contribution. And maybe they're people that you've never included because maybe they weren't your immediate family. So you didn't really think of it. But when you start to ask the question, who could I include that would contribute to this actualizing? And you don't even have to think about it. Just ask that question. Who could I include here? And you might get very surprising awarenesses. You might just notice things showing up. You might be invited to certain things that you've never been invited to. You might have this completely different holiday experience because you're including energies, you're including people, you're including magic that maybe you've never included before. Who or what could I include this holiday that would allow it to be more magical than any holiday I've ever had? And just receive that. Open to it. Enjoy it. Bask in those possibilities. And now here's number 7. Here's magic number 7. Start to converge it into your life, but don't put a time frame on it. Okay. So if this is the first year you're ever doing this, don't expect a perfectly magical holiday. Don't put that it has to be now and it has to be this way. If you're starting right now, fresh, it might be 3 holidays from now until you really have brought into actualization the magical holiday you would like to have. Now, if you're an impatient humanoid, which most of you are, you might be like, I can't, no, I'm not waiting 3 years. But here's the thing. If like, let's holidays, there's food, there's cooking, right? Sometimes you let something marinate. You allow it the space to become as delicious as it can. That's part of what we're doing with this holiday. It's not just this holiday. It's not only now, it's now and the future that you're creating this for. So maybe you used to spend all your time, with your dad, and maybe you spend half of the time. And then the next year, a little less, and then next year, a little less. And it expands your life and your holidays every year. And that's the way that works for you. Or maybe it's, maybe for you, it's like, I would just love to have all this money to buy all these amazing presents. And I'm just so excited to gift and gift and gift. And if you haven't put this in your ask list, you might be showing up, oh, I don't have the money in the bank this year. So your ask now is going to cultivate next year. Maybe you'll have a little bit more, and the next year you're going to have a little bit more, and you're going to have a little bit more. If you put time into the equation, you will kill the magic that's possible. Maybe you really wanted to go sledding and there was no snow, and you're like, well, what if the year after you're at this beautiful ski lodge? So allow it to be this year, allow it to be this holiday, but allow it to, this energy ball to go out and ripple into the future and all holidays beyond this. And that every holiday actually just becomes greater and becomes greater and becomes greater. Maybe this year you're like, I just don't want to be alone. I don't want to be alone this holiday. Who could you include? And maybe when you include someone, they only spend 30 minutes with you. Okay, acknowledge that. Yay, how does it get any better than this? Maybe for me, it was magic. Real magic. I was like, oh, man, Christmas got to be all about presents. And I love presents, but like, I was missing the magic. So I started to ask, what could I create? What could I be? What could I choose that would bring magic to my Christmas holiday? It's been 5 years, and every year it shows up more, but I still have not arrived at the richness of what I know is possible, but I sense it in my future. But every year I just contribute to it coming into my reality more and more and more and more. It's already in my non-reality reality, but to actualize here, every year it becomes more, it becomes richer with magic. But if I would have that first year, when things were actually really difficult in my life, if I had decided, well, that didn't work, okay, I don't get magic for Christmas, then I would have killed the future. So what truly magical holiday can you have this year? Would you acknowledge every little molecule of magic that shows up for you so that it gets greater and greater and greater? I hope this video was a contribution to you. We're going to do a whole holiday edition this month. So we'll be playing with a lot of different things. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here, and happy holidays.